pretty much almost always off. So look where that goes. See where that's peeing out? That's the end, and it says distal. That's where we connect to pressures, because that's the end of the catheter. So that would be like your wedge, PA, all of that business. If you connected to one of these, you still would get a pressure. It just won't be at the tip of the catheter.
This is a sample.
That's the balloon. Go ahead and inflate that, Joe. Just grab it and inflate it. Hold that end of that. Inflate that and turn the stopcock.
Yeah, holds
and that's how it holds up for moving forward and getting a wedge.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and flush forward. When we're out of the table and it's brand new, we don't have to suck and flush because it's sitting here in the air. So we just go forward and see where that came out. 30 centimeters back. That says auxiliary RA port. Let's see where this one comes out. Let's inject that one.
Same place.
About the same. It's probably two different lines though. So this just gives us an extra RA. This gives us another IV line for another drug. That's why most swans don't have this extra port. They have 4 ports. One for the balloon, one for the computer thermistor, which is 5 millimeters back. There's a thermistor right there. That goes to this guy.
That's the That's a thermometer, right?
Yeah. There's the distal port, which is for the measuring pressures. It's past the balloon. And here's the proximal port, which is 25 to 30 centimeters back for RA, for cold injection. And they usually have them blue. So that's blue cold water injection. It makes it easier to remember. If it doesn't, you want the proximal port. The distal one's at the end. The distal being farthest away.
To get the wedge. That's to get the wedge pressure. Because it's on the other side of the balloon.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So when we put this line in,
I just repeat things.
Where's our needle?
Access needle?
Access needle.
We don't need
yeah, I guess we don't have it monitored, so it's kind of, I guess just a couple of minutes.
Where'd the vascular access go?
So when we go for a vein, we would have the arterial sheath up here at the same time as the venous sheath. So we're starting a bilateral case. I'm going to take whatever I get. If I hit the vein, I'm going to use the big sheath. If I hit the artery, I'm going to use the small sheath. So let's have a small sheath too, just in case we hit the artery. So the doc's going to feel for the artery. Okay. He's going to feel for the artery. He's going to go finger breadth medial, and he's going to vacuum it. He hits the gold, he hits the dark, and then he's going to go in with a wire. This long sheath, and where's our other wire? We had a longer wire. Short one. We usually don't use, let me see that for a second. See how short this is? We usually don't use these for these sheaths because they're so long. There's not much room to work with. Okay. Yeah, so we're usually going for long ones. So they will go back like that. I don't have to use a long sheath for the swan, but that's what we have on the table. So I'll probably use a long wire. Good, he's not pulling my wire and he's wiping it, that's good. And we can put the 9 French sheath on. And we got the vein here. I'm in the vein somewhere. In the nebulous zone.
I brought a cup.
Low pressure. And then we would go for a flush. I usually keep my table pretty close. It's kind of like right behind us, so I can get after it. You want to flush that for us, Mindy? We'll give you something to do. The 9 French sheath. And then we would reset ourselves. We would flush this guy out again, because it's bloody, and then the doc's going to go in with the arterial sheath. That's how we do bilateral. We give him a vacuum for the vein, then we go for the arterial sheath.
So they're both in at the same time?
So now we get the artery. Now I could use the short. This, feel that. This is a 5 French, feel that transition. That's not good. That would not work on that. That would tear the artery up. Feel that? That's a 5 French dilator in a 6 French sheath. See the color? Gray on green? There's green on green. Feel that transition.
That looks better.
That's what you want.
Yeah, a lot smoother.
Okay. So cool. Okay, so now I got the artery. If you give it to me with the wire slipped over, it makes it easier for me. Yep, that's perfect. Step back. You didn't hold the wire.
I did not.
Now I'm not going to hold them anymore, so you've got to hold the wire. Now Doc's going to go, God damn it. Give me somebody who knows what. Well, you just pull that out. You want to explain to this patient why we have to stick them in, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to be very nice about it. So you've got to hold the wire. But I tell you what, we'll start over again. We stuck him again. Now we're going to, if we'd have to do an intervention, we have to worry about a hematoma, blah, blah, blah. There, you won't do that again.
That's right.
Better to mess up in here.
Okay.
That's right. You can actually do that process. The doc's going to hold on pretty tight to these wires, but you shouldn't be pulling it. You shouldn't make them hold it. Okay. A little bit of pressure. Okay. And then if you could flush that for us, Wendy, that'd be good. Because we just want to give you something to do. So barrel up. Suck first. Suck. Thump. Then flush. Even though I know we're getting there here. Okay. So, very good. That's right. Off to the patient. Very good. So on a bilateral.
Yeah. Which catheter? Which catheter are we going first with? Okay.
Swan.
Okay.
So what we do now is the doc's going to put the swan in, and we're going to have my hand on this syringe for the balloon. And as soon as I get up to about the
So you need to invent. You're not advancing the swan over a wire.
nope, they don't go over wire. Good question. Nope, they just go floating in all by themselves. So now if I get past the liver, and I'll have you inflate the balloon, please.
Oh, it was the
And you just let's see. No, you have to have it inline. There, inline now. Walk. Okay. Balloon's up. Okay. Now we'll see that on floor. It'll be bouncing around in the inferior vena cava. Now the doc's going to start moving the swan forward, and he's going to start twisting it clockwise through the right atrium. And now it's going to spin to the RV, and it'll look like that. And then if you can kind of help unwind it with me. Thank you. And we're going in, we get out to the PA, and we'll take, if it's a left PA or a right PA, we'll take either. We don't care. They both work. It's just like the honey badger. He doesn't care. Left or right
Got that on video.
PA. Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
better believe it.
So in this case, we went to the left. We usually end up going to the right because the catheter kind of tends to go that way, and the right lung has 3 lobes. It's bigger, so it's more likely to go to the right. I keep pushing it out till the balloon stops moving around, and that's wedge. Now we would connect to our manifold. I'll drop my balloon for just a little bit for my flush because I don't need to flush in the wedge. Oh, there you go. So now we're going to connect to our manifold, and we're going to connect to the one that's the distal PA. Which one is that, guys? Which one should we connect to?
This one.
Yeah, there you go. That's where we connect it. Okay.
every day. I'm like, okay, tonight I'm gonna.
Then we would open to the patient. Yeah, open your valve. You can leave the valve on, that's fine.
Open the
Open
patient.
to the patient. And then you can use your manifold just like usual. We would suck and flush.
So waste is this one.
Okay.